Live and on your side. You're watching WBRC Fox 6 News at 9.
You know, I just looked outside, saw a lot of red lights on 65 north and south. Lane closures on there, and 2059 may give you a holiday headache heading out this weekend.
Well, our Hannah Ward joins us now live from Malfunction Junction with more on those closures. Hannah, first of all, be safe out there.
We are, Sarah, and yes, like you said, all of those lane closures happening right here near Malfunction Junction. Now, while those closures will not cause you to have to take another route, it will definitely slow you down. AlDOT is well into phase 2 of the I-2059 bridge project. And that work doesn't stop just because of the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of construction all over Alabama. It'll be on 65, it'll be on 2059. It's going to be all over the place.
A lot of activity going on in the construction zone, so it's definitely important to just slow down, pay attention to your surroundings, and be aware of what's going on.
One lane on I-5920 northbound will be closed from Center Street all the way up to the interchange. It will stay closed until Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. One lane will also be closed on the on-ramp from I-65 northbound to I-5920 southbound. If you're traveling towards Tuscaloosa this weekend from Birmingham, this will impact you. That closure will also end at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. The next closure is 2 lanes, one on the left and one on the right of I-5920 southbound. Now, that will be closed periodically Friday through Sunday, but all the lanes should be back open by Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning.
So you're going to have to be prepared for that. There's going to be some delays, there's going to be some slowdowns. So just pad your travel time schedule, be alert, and just kind of take it nice and easy through those construction zones.
Now, there will not be any closures starting Sunday around 8 o'clock in the morning and lasting until the 4th of July at midnight. But then after that, work will start right back up. We're live in Birmingham on the side of I-65. I'm Hannah Ward, WBRC Fox 6 News on your side.
Well, expect some rain on the roads for the next few days, but hopefully not this much. Several counties in our viewing area dealt with flash flooding today. Get a look at this road in Jasper. Our viewer sent us this photo of a road covered in water so high it's up to the headlights of this car. In Blount County, people were concerned about rising creeks with water levels already higher than normal because of Tropical Storm Cindy. And not what you want to see when heading out for coffee. Get a look at this. Flash flooding covered 19th Street in downtown Jasper, right there in front of Coffee Bar. Flooding caused a mess in several neighborhoods across Coleman County, like at this home near Sipsey. One woman almost saw her home flood for the 4th time today.
Yeah, Linda Brown panicking, and who can blame her? She looked out her front window and saw this morning. Flood riders quickly getting up near her Hansville home, especially concerned because it's already flooded 3 times before. So the mayor and workers put these sandbags up.
I prayed, first of all, and God answered my prayer. The water got up to the porch, and then it started receding.
That's an answered prayer. Thankfully, that water did get back to this nearby drainage ditch, but she is staying alert with more rain to come. All the rain we've seen weakened some trees and root systems, so a lot of fallen limbs and branches floating around in addition to what's already in last week's tornado knockdown. The new rain washing the debris into the lakes and rivers you may be out on this weekend. And so state troopers are asking you to make sure you keep an extra close eye on the waterways this weekend.
So it's just important to pay attention to what's going on. Even though it may be a familiar area, there may be some changes. There may be something that's washed into the waterway.
And running over the debris can't just damage your boat. It could put your passengers in danger. Troopers say they'll have a strong presence on the water this 4th. Some local sheriff's departments even jumping in to help. It might be a bit too rainy for some folks to get on the lakes though this weekend.
Definitely. So JP, things I know can change, but what are you expecting?
Yeah, I think we'll see some more rain, some more thunderstorms tomorrow and again on Sunday, but I do not think the weekend will be a washout. I think you'll have plenty of dry opportunities out there. The radar tonight is certainly looking a lot better as we zero in on radar's a clean sweep, so good shape at least for right now. Let's check out the current temperatures at the Birmingham airport, 76 degrees, and we do have winds out of the southwest at about 7 miles per hour. This is your hour-by-hour forecast, and notice what happens. 10% chance of rain in the morning. Most of us stay dry in the morning. The rain chance is creeping up to around 20% by noon, 50% chance of rain during the afternoon hours. Potential there for a few storms to produce some gusty winds. We'll talk more details about that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, JP, we're always on your side when it comes to Alabama's changing weather conditions. Follow us for the first alerts on the WBRC weather app. It's a free download in the App Store and Google Play. New at 9, a St. Clair County man is facing prison time now for possessing a pipe bomb. 39-year-old Edward Shane Dempsey is charged with possessing a destructive device. The Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives investigated the case against the Odenville man.
New tonight, Pelham police warning a convicted sex offender may be living in the city without registering his address. Police say convicted sex offender Tomasi Amafiatano hasn't registered his address even though the law requires it. He has several active felony warrants, including violating his probation. Tonight, an admitted rapist from Memphis is waiting for a new court date after police found him living in Orange Beach. Officers found Kevin Montgomery and the woman he's accused of abducting nearly a year ago hiding out in the marina. His girlfriend ran to a neighbor's boat this week saying she'd been abused. The neighbor found out her name was Shasta Nauman and her family hadn't seen her in a year. New incentives tonight for you to grab your rod and reel, where you're guaranteed to get a catch.
West Alabama is one step closer to a college-affiliated charter school. How it's hoping to help the Black Belt.
Something better than a food truck. New at 10, a food truck park, where it's opening up for the weekend.
You're watching WBRC Fox 6 News, part of the Raycom News Network, Alabama's news source. We're proud to be on your side.
New York police tonight are trying to figure out what grudge a doctor was carrying that led him to burst into the hospital where he used to work and start shooting today. Police commissioner says that shooter, Dr. Henry Bello, tried to set himself on fire before turning that assault rifle on himself. He's dead tonight, along with another doctor. Several others tonight still fighting for their lives. A British court tonight is ruling against the parents of a brain-damaged little baby boy trying to keep him on life support. The 11-month-old's doctors sued to get the right to take him off his ventilator, saying it was causing him pain and they can't do any more to treat this rare genetic disorder. Little Charlie Guard's parents want to take him to the U.S. for experimental treatments.
So sad. Well, right now, parents are suing 4 members of the Gadsden Board of Education. Board members Frank Seiler, Wayne Watts, Lynn Taylor, and Deborah Howard are being sued by 3 parents who have children in the Gadsden schools. The lawsuit accuses the board members of deliberately violating the Open Meetings Law and the State School Board Governance Improvement Act. The suit follows those 4 members voting not to renew the contract of Superintendent Ed Miller. Now, Taylor has since been replaced on the board. Well, out of West Alabama tonight, the University of West Alabama just got an affiliated charter school approved.
Yeah, UWA Board of Trustees say the school board will hire a principal soon, and that school will be located on campus in Livingston. K through 5 classes offered first. Board of Trustee member Justin Smith says there's a need for a charter school in this rural area.
We believe that sometimes you need something new to kickstart change. We hope this can serve as a model, as a way to change the Black Belt and the education struggles of the Black Belt. We really do.
He says they've raised more than $350,000 to pay for the startup cost of the school, which should open next August. Summer, a slow time for adopting pets. What a Tuscaloosa Animal Shelter tonight's doing to entice future pet parents, JP.
And we do have some raindrops in that forecast for the weekend, even some thunderstorms too. We'll pinpoint that, plus a look at your 4th of July holiday forecast.
Rick Carley here. It's been an exciting day in our state as Cam Newton and Jameis Winston were hanging out in our areas, plus Sheldon Hammerhead Haygood with some wild shark video from Destin. I'll be back in just a second.
Tonight, the White House says it wants your voting information, your name, where you live, even who you voted for.
Yeah, but a growing number of states, including Alabama, are saying not so fast to that request. Josh Gann in studio tonight. Josh, why do they want this information to begin with?
Well, the White House says it wants to see if any possible voter fraud took place during the recent presidential election. Alabama Secretary of State John Merrill says before he gives them anything, he wants to make sure that voting information is safe. Recently, President Trump's Voter Fraud Commission sent a letter to all 50 states requesting publicly available voter roll data that's allowed under each state's laws. Names, addresses, voting history among the information the commission wants, all a part of an investigation into possible fraud in the 2016 presidential election. Alabama Secretary of State John Merrill says he has questions about that request. Merrill tells us he isn't going to just hand over that information.
We will not in any way whatsoever jeopardize the credibility or the integrity of the information that has been provided to us by the citizens of Alabama. We will never put them at risk.
An increasing number of states also have questions, some even denying the request. In an off-camera briefing, the White House says what President Trump thinks about the refusals.
I think that that's mostly a political stunt. This is a commission that's asking for publicly available data, and the fact that these governors wouldn't be willing to turn that over. This is something that's been part of the commission's discussion, which has bipartisan support, and none of the members raised any concern whatsoever.
Merrill says he wants to be helpful to the administration, but wants to make sure voting information is safe.
We already engage in these relationships with other states in the union by exchanging information, but when we do so, we do it in an encrypted manner. And if we're able to continue to do that in a way that would be beneficial to the people of Alabama and the nation as a whole, we want to consider it.
Well, the White House says the role of this election commission is to strengthen the integrity of the federal elections process. We're told a report from this commission will be presented to President Trump sometime next year. Sarah?
That's interesting. All right, new at 9, road closures you'll need to know about if you're driving through Shelby County tomorrow night. Since Chelsea will be holding their annual fireworks show called the Big Kaboom, Chelsea Road will close between U.S. Highway 280 and Chester Crane Road. That shutdown is from 4 until 11 p.m. Now, the fireworks will be in the grass field behind the Dairy Queen and Winn-Dixie, so Chelsea Corners Way will be closed in front of Benson Plaza. Signs will show you where to detour and where to park. Of course, don't forget, Birmingham is hosting the biggest fireworks show of the year. Thunder on the Mountain at Vulcan Park is July 4th. WBRC, a proud sponsor. Once again, and if you can't make it to the mountain, you can catch the spectacular pyrotechnics live starting at 9 p.m. on WBRC Fox 6 or the WBRC News app.
New at 9, grab your fishing pole. Alabama Power has stocked the Sipsey Fork of the Black Warrior River below Smith Lake Dam. Actually, 2 stockings of rainbow trout in the waters, 22 of them tagged with radio transmitters by Auburn University researchers tracking their movements. Now, the results should help improve this unique fishery. Department of Conservation says if you catch one, it's safe to eat, but keep that transmitter and make sure and call the department.
Everybody get a look at this phase. Oh my goodness. Well, time is running out on a sweet deal at the Tuscaloosa Metro Animal Shelter. From now until Monday, July 3rd, adoption fees are half off on cats and dogs. The summer months of June and July are usually the slowest adoption months of the year for the shelter, so they hope to boost adoptions by cutting costs for prospective families. They're also offering an even better deal on some animals.
So right now we have probably 20 to 30 dogs that are available for just $5 because their adoption fees have been sponsored.
So in the June of 2016, the shelter adopted out 80 animals. So far, in just 1 week of half off adoption fees, 60 animals have been adopted. It has been a rainy day across our area and in our state's capital as well. This is a time-lapse look at the heavy rain that moved into Montgomery today. It's pretty cool to see, isn't it?
And now, your first alert weather with WBRC Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist J.P. Dice.
And our heavy rain that happened this morning, this afternoon, much drier and actually pretty nice out there this evening. I know around 7 o'clock, temperatures were already down into the mid-70s, and that's where they are right now. We have 74 degrees in Tuscaloosa as we check out our Sky Vision camera that is looking out over the downtown. First alert live radar, no rain showing up. It's going to be a different story tomorrow. The morning, I think, is going to be dry. It's going to be the afternoon when we start to see some showers and thunderstorms developing. We'll be watching those closely. Wes will be in the office tomorrow afternoon and pinpointing some of that shower activity. Some thunderstorms, I think, tomorrow could be on the strong side, especially north of Interstate 20. Let's take it hour by hour. I want you to see the clock. 6 a.m. This is tomorrow morning. Temperatures where they are right now, mid-70s. As we get into the afternoon, looks like those rain chances will climb again. So keep that in mind. Sunday morning, 6:30, temperatures lower to mid-70s across the area. Peak time for rain and storms tomorrow between 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. Best chances for rain in our northernmost counties. You draw a line right there, I-20 northward. That's where we will be watching things closely. It is possible you could get a few thunderstorms producing some gusty winds over 60 miles per hour. That's going to be nothing really widespread, but it is possible in the northern counties. Heavy rainfall, I think, is a bigger issue. Some of those areas that had flooding today, it is possible you could see some additional trouble tomorrow. Blount County, Coleman County, also Walker County. Lightning, if you hear thunder, make sure you go inside. And as I mentioned, some strong storms in that forecast. Over the next several days, our rain chances are going to decrease just a little bit. There you go. Tomorrow, 50% chance of rain, 40% on Sunday. Monday, 40%, and a little bit lower chance of rain coming up for the 4th of July. That rain chance at 30%. You're going to head out to the pool tomorrow. Here's a look at your Saturday pool forecast. The morning, around a 30% chance of rain, 20-30% range, 78 degrees, 80 by noon. And during the afternoon, this is the best time to be checking the WBRC First Alert weather app. I think around 3 o'clock, that's going to be the peak time for some thunderstorms developing. Again, I can't stress this enough. You hear thunder, make sure you go inside. Our First Alert forecast, let's talk about tomorrow. A high of 90 degrees, hot and steamy, 50% chance of rain. Rain chances decrease tomorrow night. We mentioned the big kaboom in Chelsea. I think the rain is going to hold off. I think the rain's going to be finished by the time the fireworks get underway. 40% chance of rain on Sunday, 40% on Monday. And there's your Tuesday forecast, 30% chance of showers and storms. Rain chances on Thursday around 40%. Make sure you have the app handy. We'll be updating it through the day tomorrow. Lots of information so you can plan your weekend. I'll be back at 9:30. We'll check the pollen counts and look at some of the fireworks forecasts.
You ever wonder what it must have been like to be inside Independence Hall on those hot Philadelphia days? Well, you don't have to go to Independence Hall in Philadelphia to get the feel. You can come here to a place called the American Village, because it's absolutely Alabama.
From the First Alert Desk, we will have to wait another 6 months for the Pentagon to announce whether transgender people will be allowed to enlist in the military. The Defense Department was due to release a decision by tomorrow, but has asked for another 6 months. By the way, leaders of the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines had also asked for a delay. Now, keep in mind, it was last year that then Defense Secretary Ash Carter ended the ban on transgender people being able to serve openly in the military, but said that the process would happen in stages.
The 4th of July, more than just fireworks and cookouts, it's about the birth of our freedom.
Oh, yes, and Fred Hunter shows us it's absolutely Alabama.
We are seated in the President's Oval Office. This is a full-size exact replica of the Oval Office at the White House. We were told it would be tough to keep up with all the presidential changes in upholstery and curtain and carpet, so we chose to fix our decor in the year 2000. A lot of Alabamians will never get the chance to travel to Boston and Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. But if you come to Montevallo, you can see the east room of the White House, the President's Oval Office. We have a replica of George Washington's Mount Vernon home. We have the Colonial Courthouse from Williamsburg, Bruton Parish Church. You get to march with the Continental Army, learn how to fire a musket, which in your case is a broomstick, by the way. So you can make all of those visits to America's historic places without ever leaving Alabama. The American Village was the vision and the idea of one man, Tom Walker. He recognized that there needed to be a place where children could learn and connect with our history as Americans.
Every day is special at the American Village, but none more than Independence Day.
Independence Day is our red, white, and blue day. We have about 8,000 people come. We open at noon, and we're open throughout the day into the evening. We have patriotic musical salutes. We have veteran salutes. We reenact the battle between the Patriots and the Redcoats at Concord Bridge. You get to experience the inaugural ball and actually take part in the dancing. You might learn a step or two. And our evening concludes, of course, with fireworks. We have, I think, the best up-close and personal fireworks in Alabama. We shoot them off right behind Washington Hall, and you're right there underneath them. And we do that at twilight's last gleaming.
On the final day of deliberation for the Constitution, Benjamin Franklin was asked, well, what do we have? He replied, a republic if you can keep it. And that's what the American Village is all about, keeping the spirit of the Republic alive. This is America. This is absolutely Alabama.